former teacher. She went blind later in life. She was in her early 40s, she then became a minister. And we were sitting in a cab, and she turned to me and said, you know, this was just totally game-changing for me to, one, win this award, but also I never understood how bad of a teacher I was until I went blind. And her rationale was, I thought everybody learned like I did. And she did, and that insight, that shift happened as soon as she became, quote unquote, different. And I think that's a big part of what we need to keep delivering. It isn't about being different, it's about making sure we give kids the opportunity to learn the way that they learn. And that's really what we've become about. So I was in Denver and at an event for an organization called YES. It's a youth organization for kids with learning differences that really teach themselves to advocate. And I was walking through, we were in a big park, and I had at some point said a few words to the group, and then one mom stopped me and said, could I, you know, would you mind speaking to my daughter? I'm like, of course. I'm kind of on the tall side. And I bent down, she was a little 8-year-old girl, and she said, I just want to say thank you and give you a hug. And you're like, all right, now I'm kind of in. And she said, you actually saved my life, right? So back to the impact that an audiobook can have. She said, I thought I was stupid. I thought I couldn't learn. I had no confidence. And she was actually thinking about committing suicide. 8-year-old little girl, right? So if you think about the impact that opening up education can have, is massive. So what we do isn't simple, right? It's actually rather complex. But understanding that impact that you have, by understanding how kids learn, by making sure that they have access to a format that works for them, is really what we're about. And I think day in and day out, that's what we live, that's why we do what we do, that's why we've been around for 75 years, and that's why our goal is to be around for, excuse me, 75 years more as well. And so as we think about our future, it really becomes about the broad population. So just to present the problem set, 50% of kids in this country do not read at grade level, right? So 50% of the kids in this country do not have access to content that they need to learn. And we view our job as how do we shift that? And if you think about if they can't get access through reading, we need to get them access through oral language, right? We need to get them access through listening. And the shift in technology, it's coming hard and it's coming fast, right? So back to change, right? If we keep holding that, is how do we as an organization keep changing to develop highly interactive content in ways that kids want and need to learn? And really that's what we're about. And as we think about the past to today to the future, there's 27 million kids that need us. And how do we go from a couple million to 27 million? So I invite you all to join us, stay with us for another 75 years. It's going to be a fun ride. We'll hit our bumps. We'll get frustrated along the way, but there are tons of kids for us to help.